Welcome to the latest edition of the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by the good folks at Student Transportation of America. My name is Mike Gross, and I'm hosting. To my left is Jason Guarente. To my right is Jeffrey Reinhardt. We are so immersed in District 3 basketball that we really aren't sure where we are oriented on the planet, but we're going to try to share some of what we have seen and are looking forward to. Heading into really district finals and in a couple cases still at the semifinal stage. But anyway,
yes,
Rhines,
yes,
get us started here, big guy. What's happening in the next couple days?
Okay, two teams are in as we sit. AAA, Pequea Valley. Braves are going to Hershey for the first time in program history. They were the 2 seed, so they're going to the Giant Center. That game's Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. They play Trinity, Shamrocks. Trinity has 17 District 3 championships. Yeah. That's pretty good. Pequea Valley is
Although not crazy dominant lately.
No, not lately. Not like they were, where it seems like they won double or triple like every year.
Yeah.
But Trinity's still very formidable. Good squad. They know their way around the Giant Center. 17 titles for Trinity. Pequea Valley going for its first. Tip of the cap to the Braves. Okay, the other team that has clinched is Linville Hill in single A. In the semifinals, they beat Greenwood big. Got a quick lead. Ended up blowing their doors off. So, third straight year, Linville Hill goes to the finals. They won last year. Beat Mount Calvary to win their first district championship.
And that's Class A. Linville's
Class
1A. Pequea Valley is AAA.
Correct. And that 1A game is Thursday? Early game, I think. Thursday, 2:45. Warriors are fun. Great, fun team to cover. And here they are again, going back to Hershey. So those two teams are in. So we'll start with Pequea Valley and Linville Hill playing for district titles.
All right. What do you got, big guy?
3 boys teams still in the championship part of the bracket. Lancaster Mennonite is in the 3A championship game, going for a 5th consecutive district title. Oof. The first 4 were in 2A. Mennonites had to move up to 3A. Guess who Mennonite plays in the final? Trinity. Which is in the final. Guess who Pequea Valley boys played in 2009, the one time they made the final? Trinity. So all roads lead to Trinity, which has Owen Schlager, a 2,000-point scorer, and a Siena recruit. Columbia beat Trinity in last year's final, so the LL has some successful history here.
Is Owen a senior?
He's a senior.
Yeah.
Well, he's 2,000 points. I hope he's a senior.
Only been in the high school.
Good football player too. Yeah.
What's interesting about that game, though, is that Mennonite wanted to move up. I think they wanted this challenge, especially at the district level. I think they feel like it'll validate what they've done the last 4 years if they can win this game.
That's interesting.
That's the feedback I got when they won the semifinal. Class 2A, Linville Hill Christian is going for its 4th consecutive championship. Wow. The first 3 were in 1A. The PIAA, in its infinite wisdom, forced a school with like 60 boys to move up to 2A and try to sabotage their chances of winning a PIAA championship. So
they tried to sabotage.
I mean, if you've never won it and they make you move up, what are they doing? Yeah. I mean, you build for 2 years to win it, and then you have to win at a higher level. They will play York Catholic. Those teams played early in the season. Linville won by 10 on York Catholic's home floor, so there is some history there. So I would say that Linville has to be considered the favorite. The only other LL team still alive for a championship is Lancaster Country Day. We're taping on Tuesday, plays Tuesday night against High Point. If it wins, it will get to Giant Center, most likely to play undefeated top seed York Country Day.
Still 2 4A teams as we tape on Tuesday. Lancaster Catholic girls, they won back-to-back 3A titles. They're up in 4 because of the PIAA wisdom.
Again, with the infinite wisdom.
Yes. They get Delone Catholic. That's such a classic matchup here. Wow. Catholic has 21 championships in 30 finals appearances. Delone's been to the title game 21 times. They've won 7. So Delone against Lancaster Catholic in a 4A semi. Northern Lebanon Vikings, they're in the other semifinal. They play Wyomissing. Wyo's the defending champ in 4A, 2-time defending champ in 4A. They beat Northern Lebanon in this round last year, 45-15. Ooh. Winners play Friday at 4:30 in the Giant Center. Got to ask you, you covered Lebanon in 6A this week. Third year in a row, they ran into Dallastown. Third year in a row, they're leading at half. Third year in a row, Dallastown junk defense, and Dallastown comes back and wins and knocks out Lebanon.
Yeah, I thought Lebanon did a great job defensively the first half, and Dallastown is very good defensively too. They're long and athletic. They're a good team. But I thought Lebanon had better looks in the first half and should have been up 10 or 12. They were only up 5. And then there was 3 or 4 possessions at the start of the second half where Dallastown threw this 3-quarter court trap at him. Lebanon didn't respond to it very well. And that turned it just a little bit. Lily Harrison fouled out, which was critical. And Correa did not have a good shooting game. And they ended up only up losing by 2. That's a little deceptive. It was a 5-point game with 2 seconds left.
Wow.
But it was a winnable game for Lebanon. And you know, these kids that have been there in this group here for 3-4 years, I mean, they got to win one of these games.
You would think.
You know, that was a winnable game. It was probably a winnable game last year. It was probably a winnable game the year before. And now they play Central Dauphin. That's a winnable game. You know, I mean, it's time for them to win one of these winnable games.
Yeah, they cleared that LL hurdle.
Yeah.
I really thought this might be the year they at least get to the Giant Center, but Dallastown did it again. I guess I should mention the 1A, Linville Hill. They're playing New Covenant Christian out of Lebanon, and they have a kid named Quinn Demler, sophomore, scored her 1,000th point already in the semis. They beat Lancaster County Christian at the buzzer. Demler goes full court and hits a layup at the buzzer to win. So this Demler kid, Linville Hill's really going to have to guard her because she can really score. She's at like 23 points a game, 50-plus threes, and 1,000 points already as a 10th grader. So she's impressive. That'll be a fun matchup in 1A.
Jason, on the boys' side, it was not a good district playoff for our big school, to put it mildly. What do you got? Any thoughts on that? It's hard to...
Yeah, the LL went 0-5 in Class 6A. And
Wow.
I think 4 of those losses, we were among the 5 lowest seeds. So I don't think those were a surprise. Warwick lost at home in the 7-10 game to Mifflin, but Mifflin's in the semifinals.
Mifflin's
so,
playing,
wow,
seems
they're
like
still
they're playing
playing.
well now.
So again, not a bad loss. I think the one loss that was kind of hard for the LL was Manheim Central losing to Spring Grove in 5A.
Yeah.
Which was the 116 game.
Wow.
Central was number 1. Central was 20-2 in the regular season, had the best record in the league, and Spring Grove was not in the top 3, and York Adams won. That's a game the LL should win. The LL didn't win, and honestly, if you watch that game, it would, Spring Grove was not overmatched. I mean, that's a game that Spring Grove could have won if they had played 10 times, would have won more than once, I think. It was not some fluky miracle occurrence. So the LL has not been in the semifinals in 5A or 6A for 2 years now. So they just have not competed at the big school level. I don't know when that's going to change because Section 1 is looking like it's not going to have a ton back next year. So we might be in this same boat a year from now when it comes to the Class 6A bracket.
And we should probably point out, relatedly, that McCaskey is looking for a new coach.
Yeah, the first coaching change of the offseason, Freddie Ramos has resigned as McCaskey coach. It's part of a purge that's happened at McCaskey, which is changing football coach and girls basketball coach. Before this, Ramos was
And a new AD.
And a new AD, which is facilitating the movement. Tiaja Pena, former player at McCaskey, 1,000-point scorer. McCaskey was 71-81 under Freddie Ramos and hadn't been to the LL playoffs since 2020, so they're trying to become a contender like they used to be when winning championships was an annual event.
It used to be the strongest basketball program in our league. Without
Have you lost track of all the LL teams that are still swimming around in the consolation brackets?
To be honest, I mean, there's not a ton, honestly.
LS, Octorara,
LS and
Manheim,
Octorara are in
Cocalico.
states. LS and Octorara are in states. The big consolation game, Manheim Central is at home against Cocalico in the semifinals of the 8-team consolation bracket to
Wow.
get 9th place in District 3. You got to win 3 in a row to get 9th place and play against some powerhouse in
Yikes.
states. So Central plays Cocalico at home. Central beat Cocalico during the regular season. If Central wins, it would get a home game in a state qualifier.
Interesting. Manheim Central and Manheim Township girls from the LL are in
Still dancing.
consolation round.
Still
so
dancing.
Still a lot of hoops out there.
Yeah, there's still a lot of hoops out there. We will be it will be through to the state playoffs. We know for sure
Yes.
next week when we do this again, so we can kind of look at our teams in a statewide context. We'll get to that then. For now, this has been the LL Basketball Roundtable, brought to you by Student Transportation of America. For Jason Guarente and for Jeffrey Reinhardt, I'm Mike Gross, and we will see you next time.